O'Connor, President and CEO of BNB Bank. So, Kevin, can you tell us a little bit about your business and how it's been since you've started there and where it is today?
So we're a community bank with about 40 branches running from Montauk to Manhattan, all across Long Island. We have about 500 employees. I've been here a little over 12 years. When I got here, the bank was principally located on the east end of the island with about a dozen branches. And so we have, over the course of the last dozen years, grown it by, we did a couple acquisitions, but also just organically, hiring good people that really believe in community banking. And it's been a great experience. So it's been nice to add people on that feel like what they do matters.
Very nice. So tell me about how your business was impacted when COVID-19 first became a concern in New York.
Well, it's kind of interesting. So as a bank, we were identified as an essential industry. And in some ways, very truly essential. Our branches, when main streets went dark in lots of places on Long Island, our branch was one of the few lights on. And so we were someplace for customers to go. We have since moved from having open lobbies to lobbies by appointment, but we have drive-throughs, have remained open with almost all of our branches. We've closed a couple because of basically sickness, but all of our branches are now open. And the other interesting part is I had 250 people that sat with me on our headquarters in Hauppauge, and they came to work every day, and all of a sudden they couldn't come to work. And so we had to figure out a way to get laptops for everybody. Our IT group did a tremendous job of procuring them, creating them so they could be used safely at home by people. And almost all of our 250 back office people have deployed to their homes. And so there's a handful of us that come in every day. But it's been very interesting, and I'm sure you have great stories of teaching remotely. It's a bit challenge to run a company remotely.
Has there been anything in particular that's been an issue with technology for you all?
I will say this. I think, first off, getting all the laptops was interesting because everybody was trying to do it at the same time. I think we've all tried to figure out how we can work on conference calls, and this Zoom is much better where we can see each other and we're not stepping each other's conversation. But it is a challenge not being around. I'm a people person. That's kind of how I enjoy leading. I enjoy being part of the organization. I enjoy walking around and seeing, and it's a little sad to walk around a spot where 200 people normally are and there's a dozen. It is, we're all adapting, and it's amazing how effective some of this is, but I do recognize its limitations.
Great. Well, can you tell me a little bit about what BNB Bank has done to pivot or innovate during this time?
Well, I think the interesting thing that we're involved very heavily in this Paycheck Protection Program, the loans that were meant to go to small businesses. Basically, that's our customer base. And very early on, we recognized this was a nice lifeline for these customers potentially get to the other side of what's happening. And we had enough sort of human resources and physical capital to basically roll that out to our customer base. And we were able to do almost 4,000 of these loans in the course of the 66 days that the program's been running, or less than that. And it's been a great rallying point for all of our employees. In an environment where there's been such terrible things happening, so many businesses have had to shut down, and you watching sort of first responders and the healthcare workers really save lives, it's not often where you feel as a financial institution you can make a difference. And so we took 200 odd people as part of the organization from all walks of it: marketing, the people at the reception desk, people in the audit department, people across from accounting department, and we made them sort of lenders in this process. And we worked sort of a 24/7 to try and get these loans done. And it's been very gratifying. It's kind of brought everybody together when we sort of blew apart, right? This was something to bring people together. And so it's amazing to me, again, with this sort of remote technology and sort of we created an environment where 200 people rallied to get these loans done in a way where they felt they were making a difference for the customers that are out there. And so we not only did them for our customers, we wound up doing close to 1,000 loans for people that hadn't already banked with us. So it's been a great opportunity to get our sort of name recognition out. There's probably no bank in the country done as much as a percentage of their assets as we have. We've added $1 billion of these loans. It's been a great opportunity to give back to the communities that we're involved in, to help our customers, and to help people who weren't our customers where maybe their other institution didn't help them. This has been a real opportunity where people they think about the lawyer, they think about their accountant, and a lot of times they think about their bank. And I've been trying to make the distinction. It's time to think about your banker. There's really a person there. And so in an environment where we're talking about not seeing each other and doing things remotely, this is one time where you actually needed to talk to a person, even if it was on the phone, but you needed to talk to a person to get this done. And so that's not lost on myself. It's not lost on the customers we helped, and it's not lost in somewhere in the market right now.
Wow. So it sounds like you did a lot of reskilling of your employees to help with these.
We did. We've actually, and I think some of that's going to help us now. I think we figured out different methods to train. Normally in a bank, somebody has to go for training. They go for some updated training. They spend a day out of their job. And we discovered how we can do it remotely, break it down into small segments. Some of the activity to do with this PPP loans is we needed to figure out how to teach people to input things on the SBA's website. And so we literally had somebody make a video with a camera of watching somebody do it, and then loaded that onto our training website. And that's how we taught people remotely. And so we've had a discussion now about we think we're going to break a lot of our training down, especially we have 40 locations. We're going to do a lot of that using technology and breaking what would be a full day training maybe into 2 or 3 hour segments. So you're not lost for the day. You can actually begin to continue to develop your career with new training. Sort of, okay, if I've got 2 hours, especially in branch environments, and maybe 2 or 3 hours in the day that are down, we can do training that way.
That's great. Yeah, we call that method just-in-time training. And some of the benefits are that that way, when you train for a whole day, you don't get to apply it right away usually. So often people want the resources there when they encounter that problem. So it's really nice that you're going to have
It
that
was, and
available to
I guess we were late to the game, but recognize it. So, and then we've had a conversation about how do we take some of the things that we're doing and integrate them. It's going to be a new normal.
Yeah. Well, I know the need for PPP loans has been almost overwhelming. What are you hearing from your customers?
So I think they are. It's funny. It feels like we're a little bit in the lull here, right? So the rush was to get these loans, and again, we worked the first round of it. The money ran out, and we were all working as fast as we could to get it done. Second round of money comes out, and the process gets a little better. The technology gets better. We kind of did brute force in the first round. There wasn't a lot of technology, just throwing a lot of people at it. Second round, a little bit more technology. It went a little bit slower. I think the government did an interesting job sort of balancing the process and the doling out of the money. And right now, there's still money sitting there. It's not all been taken. I think there's been some fear of people. Should they take it? Should they not? I think the government sent some mixed signals. But at the end of the day, I think it will be a lifeline. It's not a panacea, but it hopefully gets people to the other side. If what we are is heading into phase 2 and phase 3 at some point in time in the near future, hopefully that'll allow business to get to the other side. And because for a lot of the businesses shut down, they've got to restock. If you're a restaurant, you've got to basically buy all your new things. If you're doing any other kind of business where the PPE costs, right, all that personal protective equipment, how much is that going to cost? What kind of shields you're putting up. So there's going to be a lot to getting businesses open, and hopefully this will provide some of that capital too.
Great. Well, I think it's wonderful that you've used this time to innovate and to think more strategically about your business going forward.
It's the advice that we have to give everybody, right? If for a lot of our smaller businesses, medium-sized businesses, things may not be what they once were. If you're a restaurant, you're going to operate with less people. If you're a retail store, have you lost your customers to Amazon or Home Depot or something like that? So I think for everybody, they have to think about what their business model is going to be going forward. Does it need to change? Do you have the right number of employees? Do you have the right employees? Do you have the right sort of marketing? How are you delivering it? So those are conversations that we feel as bankers we should have with our customers, and we should look inside ourselves and do the same thing.
Well, with how you've diverted resources for these PPP loans, how has that affected the rest of your business? The day-to-day banking needs that people have?
Listen, our people, we did an amazing job. Now, if you think about it, so I had branch people that branch traffic was probably down. So they got redirected into this process. Were we doing big marketing projects? No. So some of those people. So, and it was really a rallying cry for the whole company. So when I say 200 people were involved in it, well, the 200 people that were working on it were, and the other 300 people were basically backfilling their jobs. And so it was a tremendous opportunity for us as an organization to come together, to do something that we all felt we were making a difference. And so there's a tremendous level of pride in the organization right now. One of the people that we actually helped, it was an accountant and a lawyer. And so they got us together with 30 of their clients who were able to process these loans for them. And we had a Zoom call the other day with a number of them, and people were crying on the phone thanking. And so, which is interesting. And they actually had a statue. One of the companies was a trophy company, and they actually had the statue made up thanking us. And so we've used that. We have an internal Facebook page, I guess, if you will, or just something where we post things called The Bridge. And we have been posting all kinds of information on there, and including that the statue, it's made its way around to a number of branches and in the building here. So it's been great.
That's a really great practice to be able to find some positivity and meaning in the work that you're all doing day to day, especially since it sounds like everyone's working so hard.
We've actually also instituted weekly, we call town halls, where every Friday, or now we've moved to Thursday, we basically a half-hour call where I talk to all the employees, try to keep what's going on, what's new, what's happening. They get to ask questions, and it's something we had toyed with before this all happened, and now we've put it in place, and I don't see stopping it. I think for that half hour or so, everybody sort of takes a deep breath, and we have a good conversation. And we have fun with it. We have one they do a first time, long time caller, like we call it, to a sports radio show, and so it's been a great opportunity because sometimes we're so overloaded with communication, right? We have instant messaging, we have emails, we have memos, we have videos we post, and then it's still sometimes the message doesn't get through. People don't know what's going on. I still hear it. So this is an opportunity to directly communicate with 500 people.
That's a great strategy. So Kevin, as president and CEO, people are really looking to you to give them guidance during this time. And I know there's a lot of uncertainties that you don't know either. So how are you responding to that? How are you getting your employees through this?
I think it's as I said, communication, where the good and the bad. We're talking about all the things that happen. As I said, you feel like you're a little in this lull right here, right? Because we rushed all these PPP loans. Internally, we probably slowed down a little bit. And now we're starting to look at what does the other side look like? If you're in that lull of the wave, how big is the wall of water coming? And so we talk a lot, and that's another thing we advise our customers to do, to talk to their employees, right? Let them know what's happening. Don't make it a big secret. We've talked about reallocating people. The way we do lending and credit may change in this environment because you have to be more responsive. Looking at somebody's financial statements from last year, probably less important than they are than what they've done in the last 6 weeks. And so we need to focus that, change that. It's one of the exciting parts of being an organization this size. We can be nimble. We're large enough to have the size and scale and physical capital and the manpower to do what we did in the PPP program, but small and nimble enough that when decisions have to be made, it's not a lot of people, and we can. We have employees that are willing to make decisions.
Great. Well, yeah, as a leader, I think sometimes we forget as individuals, one of our typical responses to stress is to sort of hide in ourselves, right? We want to take a break and figure things out and kind of understand first what we need to be doing. And you have so much extra responsibility to really help others through this time as well. And it sounds like you're really doing that.
There is, I'm thankful every day I have this job. I'm thankful that I have the group of people that cares and works so hard about it. And so I feel a sense of pride and responsibility to basically provide the environment and to make sure that we're all moving in the same direction. So it's been, I always say this is, people always tell me how good our employees are. And I say, yes, they are. They make me look much better. And I'm thankful that I work with them every day.
Great. That's a really positive message. Is there any other advice that you have for business owners during this time?
I did an earlier Zoom, and it's communication. It's talking to your employees, it's talking to your vendors, it's talking to your customers, it's talking to people in government if they can help you. This is for us to get back on track. It's going to take a concerted effort. It's going to take consumers probably having to change some behavior. This is a time when you really want to think about shopping and working local, right? You want to support the people who are in your community, who support all the things that you're involved in. The not-for-profits are going to face challenges. So this is a time that I think that people who feel like they have a voice should use it.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Kevin. And I appreciate you taking the time to
No,
talk.
listen, I enjoyed this. This was a lot of fun, and it's a great opportunity to talk about our company and our great people.